Hello and welcome to Caching Waves. Doing an update on HBAR. If you've been watching my videos, you know we've been looking for this ending diagonal to fill out between 3 and 3.7 cents. And we've been playing this long. I've been playing this long to the upside to try and get this X wave as either a flat pattern or a WXY. And we just keep failing. So it's been a really tough correction here. It's been one of the least movements of any altcoin I've been trading with. There's been almost no volatility for like a month straight, and then we got that move to the downside yesterday. So the only way this can finish up here is maybe one more low, but the bottom should be close to in if this pattern's actually going to pan out. We're very close. I'm very close to my stop. Stop is at this previous low, within like tenths of pennies here. I got in at the just below the 618, I think somewhere in this area. I got in long, and somewhere around here. Just to go over the current trade setup here, somewhere around here. And we're targeting up in this area. If we don't pivot right now, I just pulled the pivots, and we're on the furthest away log scale, we'd have to hit the 1.382 extension to get up to the 50 and the 618 of this previous move. So it's getting pretty dicey at the moment. The only alternative I would have if the correction's not done is if we have another wave down to complete like 5 waves. It's a really hard count. I think it's a WXY because this wave was so long and we're pretty much done here. But if we do come any lower, I'd expect this to be a running flat. Now, unfortunately, that would stop us out of our trade. But I might be able to recoup some, but I'll have to wait and see how the patterns fill out. So the way I'm viewing this is the first wave, right? We need another wave to consider this whole area complete. We need either a WXY or an ABC. A wave of equal length and time, pretty much. Because if you say if I were to argue that the downtrend is resuming right now, then you're saying that was the entire correction of this move. Which, if you know Elliott wave, it doesn't really make sense at all. There's no right look there at all. So the only thing I would see if we made a new low is we're making a running flat. And we'd expect a move up, but we wouldn't break highs, and we'd resume from there. Alternatively, if we come down, again, it might stop me out. This could make some sort of triangle to the downside. That would make sense to me. Again, A, B, C, D, E, and we collapse to the downside. But we'd have time to figure out that entry because this correction would just extend more and more. More paint drying. But at the moment, my long is hanging on by a thread here. But I just wanted to show you on BitGet, there is some optimism in this trade setup. Again, I'm fine if I get stopped out. I always preach 1% risk per trade. That's it. So you shouldn't get annoyed if you get stopped out here. But I would anticipate the triangle or the running flat after that. And I'd look for a long on a specific entry. I will update that as we go. But I'd look to recoup. I think I've lost 1 unit so far on this trade. And if I get stopped out, that would be 2 units. So 2% basically. But the optimistic thing, I went to BitGet on this because you can see the waves a little bit clearer, is we do potentially have 5 waves in from our low. It's not the prettiest, and you're going to get overlap down at the 1 minute. So you have to look at the shape more than anything. It looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potentially. This is a 3-wave pattern because our longest wave is right in the middle. Looks like a 1-to-1 and potentially a 1, 2, 1, 2. And we could take off from here. Or this is a 3-wave and we're going to come down here, then potentially go. So I'm not going to scalp this one because I already have my trade in. I might add to my entry if we break this level, the previous wave support. Say we come down here, come up, come up, come up, get our retrace. I might look to add to the entry at this point. But as of right now, we need to hold this level. And if we don't, we're likely going to stop out. And again, I would look for this to end up being a running flat. So I'd look for an entry somewhere as soon as we broke this bottom. But I'm not going to lower my stop any more than it currently is. I just look for a re-entry and a better entry because let me show you the difference to that. So if I get stopped out there, my entry was somewhere in this area. It was slightly below the 618 because I got stopped out. Say I decided to lower my stop to the expanded B. This is just a little bit of education here. So the expanded B, we'd expect to go between the 1.236 and 1.382 extension. Of the A wave. So we put on our fibs. It's in white there. I usually do it in orange. Get rid of this. Put on our 1.236, 1.382. So if I were to leave my trade open and try and salvage it, I'd have to put my stop on the other side of that. And I would be targeting not a new high. I'd put a channel on here. Can adjust this one. I'd put a channel on here and expect it only to reach that channel to the upside before breaking. So if I were trying to salvage this trade, I'd have to lower my stop and not even get a 1-to-1 risk reward. Now, if I get stopped out and I lose one, but say I'm able to get my entry somewhere down here on the micro, this just comes down and we get a nice entry here. I'd get something like, we'll say I don't even get that good of an entry, okay? So I get up here. I get a 4.6 to 1. If we hit our target as an ABC as a running flat, I've recovered my 1 unit, and I've made 3.5 units off the same area. If I lowered my stop from my original entry, yes, I wouldn't lose my unit, but if I don't lose my unit, you could say I won 1 unit back, so I'd only get 1.5 to 1. So you can see with the re-entry, I make much more. That's why I don't care if I get stopped out. I'm just looking for the next trade. I think I explained that well enough, but you can see how with 1 loss and 1 win, I made more than 1 win alone by lowering my stop to below the B area. So if we get stopped out, I would expect us to come to this area, come back up, make a running flat, then we get our downside. All right, guys, sorry for blabbing on there. I just wanted to explain that concept of why I don't care if I get stopped out in trades. I will make more by getting stopped out and re-entering. All right, guys, that's it for HBAR. Thanks for watching. Let's see if we get this impulse off the bottom. Thanks for watching.